When I first started on Twitter, I actually signed up for an account years and years ago, and I couldn't even tell you when. And I tried it for like a day. I remember I took my daughter to the Science Center, and I tweeted out that I was headed to the Science Center with my daughter, and we were riding the metro. And I think before I even made it back from the Science Center, I had become convinced that this was a worthless thing, and I didn't understand what the purpose was. But then I revisited it when I had some friends talk to me about it, and I began to see how much is shared. I got started with Twitter, actually using it personally for a professional learning community. I found that I was able to connect with a lot of other principals, teachers, and school leaders in many different areas. And I found that to be a very positive aspect of using Twitter because we were able to, I was able to see how people did things in other parts of the country. It kind of opens you up to some new ideas, challenges maybe some of the assumptions that you have about what Twitter is, and challenges some of the assumptions that you have about how school works. I know I have good friends now that some of them I've had a chance to meet personally, some of them I just know through Twitter, but that are in North Carolina, that are in Canada, that are in Australia, so just all over the world. And I think it takes that isolation piece, and it addresses that, but on a bigger scale. It's easy to get caught up in the way we do things and to say this is how we've always done it. I think sometimes Twitter, some of the things that I read, the articles, the posts, or even some of the conversations I have with other administrators on Twitter challenge me in terms of how I've traditionally thought about how we do school. I continue to use it as professional learning, but we've also started to shift a lot to using Twitter and some other social media in order to be able to promote our school and tell our story here at Willis. Willis has struggled with perception in our community, and that's something that we've worked really hard to change through some of the events that we have on campus. But what I'm starting to realize is that it's not only important that you develop that image with your parents, but you have to go beyond. You've got to have a positive image in the community. And so I think a lot of us understand that pictures are very powerful, and so by getting some of that information out, by sharing some of the things that our kids are actually doing, sharing pictures, what we're trying to do is replace some misconceptions that people have about Willis with images that show what our kids are really doing and talking about what our kids really do. And so I think that can apply to any school in terms of building your brand. We're using telling your story, so we want to be able to tell the Willis story accurately and provide evidence to our parents that this is a good place for their kids to be.